is this money free?
Nothing in the world is free, right?
Hey guys, my name is Opal Wingate and I'm a realtor with Century 21 Tennis Realty. And today I have my preferred lender, Mr. Eric Rosemary with the Rosemary team. And we're gonna speak on this down payment assistance, its hometown heroes, and Eric knows all about it. He has been educating us. I just needed to get all the insights for you guys, for all my buyers. And so we're gonna go through a lot of information, but hopefully we can make it short and sweet. So Eric, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, like Opal said, my name is Eric Rosemary. I am with the Rosemary team here at Cross Country Mortgage. I've been with Cross Country Mortgage just over 10 years. We're based out of Boca Raton, Florida, and we work very closely with Opal and her team at Century 21 Tennis. And I'm excited to discuss this amazing program for our frontline workers.
Awesome. So let's break it down a little bit. Tell me, what is the ideal buyer that would fit the criteria for this program?
So Opal, the ideal buyer for this program is somebody who is a full-time frontline worker in one of the 50 different professions listed under the program. They must be a first-time home buyer unless they are a veteran. They need to make under the income limits for the county they're purchasing in. They must be purchasing a home and financing a loan under the loan limits set in that county too as well.
Okay, so you're saying 50 plus jobs, so that is covering a wide variety. That is including nurses, doctors, CNAs, LPNs, law enforcement,
federal and local.
Right. I also seen some as simple as a masseuse,
massage therapist, acupuncturist.
Right.
Personal trainer was one of my favorites.
Personal trainer. I thought that was interesting.
Amazing.
As like, I would not even think that that would be considered a frontline worker. Yeah. So if you think that your job would qualify you for this program, don't feel like it's limited to just nurses or law enforcement. It's a wide variety, so definitely reach out to me. But let's get into just a little bit more as to what a first time, because you mentioned it has to be a first time home buyer. So what is a first time home buyer?
So with this program, a first time home buyer is defined as somebody who has not owned a primary residence in the last 3 years. So they can own a property, but as long as they have not occupied that as their primary residence in the last 3 years, they are considered a first-time home buyer.
Okay. So if I sell my house now, I cannot repurchase as a first-time home buyer?
Not for 3 years.
Correct. I would have to wait 3 years. Okay, and what if I rent my house and decide to go live with my mom or with a family member, and then I say, hey, I want to buy, but I don't have 10% or 5% down? Can I get this?
Yes, as long as 3 years have lapsed
3 years
from the time you vacated your property that you own. If you rented it out and it's been rented out, it's on your tax returns, or it hasn't been homesteaded for the last 3 years, then that would classify you as a first-time home buyer.
Okay, so 3 years right across the board. It doesn't matter what happens, as long as you can show that you have not lived in this property for the last 3 years.
Correct. And remember, a veteran or active duty service member is exempt from the first time home buyer requirement.
Okay, perfect. So what are you looking for from the buyer to qualify them? Like, let's say I'm a nurse. What document do they need to provide you to show that they qualify?
So if you are in a position that requires a license, we would need that license, and we would need also a verification of employment from your employer confirming that you are A, a full-time employee, and B, you're in that position that you're licensed in. So you may hold a license as an RN, but if you're in an admin position, you would not qualify. So we would verify that you are in that position. If it is a profession that does not require a license, then we would solely get a verification of employment, verification from your employer to show that you are in one of those 50 qualified professions.
Okay, So, and I do believe that sometimes these programs have a minimum credit requirement.
They do. So 640 is the minimum credit requirement for this program.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's not too bad. I'm trying to think as if I'm a buyer, what would I ask you? What if I have a 640 credit score, I have the job, so which means I have the income, but I don't qualify for enough money. Can I have a co-borrower? Can I have a co-signer? Can someone help me?
Yes, you can have a co-signer, and the co-signer must their income must go towards the income limits. So for example, if you make 50,000 and they make 50,000, that's a combined income of 100.
Okay.
You're under, in most counties, you're under the maximum income limits, which in Palm Beach County is $138,000. So it's quite substantial income limits compared to the income limits of other programs, which are 80% of the median income. In Palm Beach County, I think that's $72,000 right now.
Oh wow. Okay, so 140, that's a lot of wiggle room.
Big jump.
Yeah. So let's say the client gets qualified, everything is in order, and we go out, we look for a house, we find a house. Does this program take a longer time frame to get approved? Like, what is the time frame in order to purchase? Because you know how the market is right now.
Yeah, it's a great question. So the wonderful thing about this program that really drew my eye is it's not like a lot of the other down payment assistance programs, bond programs that take a long time to qualify.
Yeah.
This program is underwritten in-house by us at Cross Country Mortgage, and our normal time frames apply to this program, which means that we can close this loan in 15 to 21 days. We can get a loan approval within 7. We can get an appraisal within 7 days. So there is no delays because of this program. All we are required to do is reserve the funds with the program administrator, and once that's done, the loan is locked, and then we sell it off to them later on after the loan closes. So all in all, we can close these loans in a 15 to 21 day turnaround time if need be, typically 30.
And that is all done by you guys, like you
directly here at Cross Country. Yes.
Okay, and are any lender allowed to do this, or?
They must be a lender, right?
Okay.
So they must have in-house underwriting to be able to do this program.
Okay, so not the brokers.
No, unfortunately they can't do this program.
Okay, all right.
And you need to be registered with Florida Housing to do this program.
Okay. So which is why I am coming to you. So something I've heard, like a lot of my buyers ask me, is this money free?
Nothing in the world is free, right?
So we have to pay it back.
Yes, the assistance is not free, but it comes in the form of a 0% interest, 30-year unforgivable second mortgage. What that means is that when you either sell, refinance, or no longer occupy the property as a primary residence, then the assistance would need to be paid back. But as long as you keep it as your primary residence, then you do not have to pay the loan back for 30 years.
Okay. So how much are we looking for my buyers?
So the program allows for 5% towards closing costs and down payment assistance up to $25,000.
Okay. And this is going towards just the deposit, because some people have issues finding closing costs as well.
So this is going towards not the deposit, but the closing costs, prepaids, and down payment required. So for example, on a $450,000 house, a typical buyer with 3 or 3.5% down would not need to bring any money to closing on this program. They would have all their closing costs covered and their down payment covered. The only difference would be if the insurance was a little bit higher than normal on the property, that they wouldn't have to bring any money to closing.
That's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, it really is.
Do they have to have money in their account? Like, what do you guys look into that?
No, the program, unless Fannie Mae or FHA requires reserves for some reason, typically you do not have to have additional funds in your bank to close. If there's no escrow deposit, we wouldn't even need bank statements if all your cash to close is covered by the program. So for example, on a VA loan or even USDA, where you're allowed to do 100% financing, if you got the maximum or even $15,000 or $10,000, that would cover all your closing costs, all your insurance, and you would have leftover funds from the program that could be applied towards a down payment. So you typically would not need any funds out of your pocket or show any bank statements.
That's good. Okay, that's really good. I'm thinking about a few people that I could call about this immediately.
We've had many over the past, year that have said, hey, I have the job, I have the income, I just can't come up with, the $20,000 or so dollars that I need for a down payment and closing costs. And in this market where you're not getting sellers to provide a seller credit towards closing costs and is very competitive, this is a way for us to ease that burden on those buyers.
Right, and if they do have some money saved up, they can use the program to take care of the deposit and closing costs and use the funds that they have as a cushion with negotiating the price.
Correct.
Awesome. I just thought about
Is
that.
this
Available for just West Palm Beach County? Is it Florida? Is it out of state? What is?
So this program is put on by the state. It is for only Florida.
Okay.
Other states may have similar programs.
Right.
A lot of them have down payment assistance.
Right.
I know Georgia has few, but one that is specifically geared towards frontline workers with this kind of income limits and this kind of assistance and loan limits and loan sizes. This is the only program that I'm aware of that has this. And it's great that we have it in our state because our state is getting quite costly.
Yeah, it is, especially where we are.
Yes.
So I think that covers everything they would need to know. If not, then please reach out to me. My information is gonna be right below. My name is Opal Wingate, and if you need to speak with Eric, I can get you in contact with him. So don't worry about that. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great day.